Merry Christmas, Blusters! I hope you have the blessed Christmas ever. Confession time. I've never seen The Grinch. I guess it'll be part of my Christmas movie watching because of this video this year. But before this, I never sat down and watched any version of The Grinch. The Jim Carrey costume in the Jim Carrey rendition kinda creeps me out. It's green and hairy. And I've just never gotten round to watching the Benadryl Cumberland sausage version. But hey, I know the concept, and a few things about the Grinch, so let's see how this goes. The people of Whoville all live together in harmony in Whopartments, and they love Christmas in Whopartments. They all live on the top of Mount Komorebi, where they can visit the hot springs together, the Christmas market, and the Christmas tree forest, and other Christmas activities like tobogganing, skiing, and snowboarding. What fun! Their landlord is me, Miss Blast. Why not Crunch? Because Crunch isn't the klepto, Miss Blast is. Check out the buttons I acquired. And this glasses case. My dad used to have one just like it. And besides, all the tenants of Whopartments are varying crunches we've seen throughout the year. The Blawrs. An unseen Let's Play I drafted of horses, with the Neigh household. Let me know if you'd like to see that. Crunch Yuletide, a man who loves Christmas. And the Grinch. He's not a Crunch, I just thought it'd be funny to add him. Miss Blast lives in the basement, however. Mouldy and cold, much like her own home right now. She still loves Christmas, however, but the Whovians of Whopartments think she is cringe. And don't want to invite her to the party. Plus it's kinda awkward inviting your landlord to a party. But this year, Miss Blast is determined to get the Whovians of Whopartments a present this year. But Miss Blast is poor. Fortunately for the Whovians of Whopartments, Miss Blast is a klepto, equipped with the ability to break into their homes. Miss Blast will get them the gifts they've always wanted, and perhaps never knew they even wanted, because it was theirs, all whilst being the best landlord ever. So after spending an embarrassingly long amount of time trying to move the tenants into their units, they finally were moved into their units and it was time to play. All the tenants paid a visit to Miss Blast, delivering a fruitcake and then hanging out for way too long. We survived off steamed rice from the rice cooker. Something I'd like in real life, and maybe for Christmas. Let me know in the comments something you'd like for Christmas. Once I'd lured them into a false sense of security, Miss Blast snuck away to start stealing stuff from their homes. This is where it went wrong. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. Let's find out. At first, I thought it was because there was nothing to steal in their homes. They were just filled with the necessities and Christmas decorations. So I jumped into build mode to add items to their home, both stealable and making them personal to them. Like the Neighs had horse-themed items. But I still couldn't steal their homely possessions. I'm not sure if it was a bug, or as Sis Blast pointed out to me, that they're technically my possessions. But no matter, I could still steal from the Christmas-themed lots I'd placed on the mountains for the residents to enjoy. Sometimes I brought the residents of Whopartments with me, but not always, as it made stealing difficult. But it was an attempt to keep them happy, and stop their complaints and revolts, rather than having to sort out their problems. Which they never voiced to me, just complained when something went wrong, and lowered our units rating. Turns out they were voicing them, I just missed it. Maintaining their units was tiring work for poor Miss Blast, but rewarding, as they gave gifts, and sometimes invited me to dinner. We sometimes did puzzles together. I think the residents of Whopartments were warming to Miss Blast, despite her cringe. But maintaining these units was taking up valuable time. We had less than a week before Winterfest, and we were barely ready, but Miss Blurst was determined to give the Crunchers of Whopartments the best Winterfest ever. Finally, the Ney family complained of a sewage leak, so Miss Blurst raced over to fix their problem. This was the first time of doing one of these apartment event things. It was easy enough. Fix all the broken objects, clean up any mess, all whilst the occupants complained the whole time about the mess and not being able to use said objects. During this, Miss Blurst gained a dislike for handiness. I personally enjoy fixing things from time to time. Mostly from necessity, as nobody else is going to do it, but we do share the same reaction of doing an activity we hate, of just complaining about it. Eventually, I worked out by checking this tab. You can check a unit's status, and whenever it dropped in maintenance, I'd have Miss Blurst go over there and perform some checks, and hang out with the residents for a couple of hours, just to keep them happy. But this was taking up valuable time to get the residents the Winterfest presents they deserved. I don't care that your electricity and plumbing is not working. I'm trying to steal a Winterfest present for you. How ungrateful! Between tending to their every need and attempting to put a stop to their revolts on their beautiful apartments, download it here if you like this lot, I was actively trying to befriend the residents of Whopartments to make this the best Winterfest party ever. Spoilers, it wasn't. I desperately wanted to be friends with the Ney family and crack the hard shell of the Blores, but the only one I could get to open up was Crunch Yuletide. I guess we bonded over our love of Christmas jumpers. The Neys were just never in, and the Blores were tough nuts to crack, being two Sims that just hate everything. Watch my video to find out more. And Kyle, for some reason, just hated me. I'm not sure what went wrong there. I never invited the Grinch anywhere, he just showed up. I invited them to the Hot Springs / recreational centre to do puzzles with them and steal things for them. I really wanted these Simmy dolls and knitted things, but apparently Miss Blurst couldn't reach. Art imitates life. I took them ice skating at the market, tried drinking coffee at the Christmas tree market, and took them tobogganing. But our friendship still remained low, but not low enough for them to not call me and ask for their landlord for life advice. That's weird to me. Miss Blurst's best friend was actually Bess. She rang all the time asking for money, and I just gave it to her to get her to go away. Soon enough, it was Winterfest. The shared area was filled with places to cook a grand meal to eat together, and was decorated beautifully with a Christmas tree to decorate together. I invited the residents to a party to celebrate the day together. Bess wasn't invited. This was for the residents of Whopartments. We gathered around to eat a delicious ham lunch together, and once we were all full, it was time for gifts. For the Neys, the hot pot I stole from the rec centre / hot springs. For the Blores, the puzzle we did together at the rec centre / hot springs. For Crunch Yuletide, the tortoise I stole from the rec centre / hot springs. I stole a lot from there. For Crunch Jr., a toy koala from, you guessed it, the rec centre / hot spring. We went there a lot. It had a hot springs and I love a hot bath. And for the Grinch, nothing, because I forgot about him. Once the gifts were done, it was time to decorate the tree together. There wasn't much room to decorate it, but we all did our best. And I tried to encourage the residents to sing with me. But they weren't interested. Like I said, cringe. The party ended poorly, as I'd been so focused on the Winterfest activities more than the party activities. But at least Winterfest was a success. All that was left was for Father Winter to make a visit to the Whopartments and deliver Miss Blurst a present. Miss Blurst didn't receive a gift from the residents. They'd forgotten her. So sad. Father Winter's present wasn't much better either. Just some upgrade parts, and Miss Blast hates handiness. So we snuck a quick present from under the tree, which was much better. A frog! I love frogs. Overall, Winterfest was a success. The residents loved their presents. Sort of. And all had a great time at the party. But the moral is, don't forget to get Miss Blast a Christmas present this year. Even if it's just a like, a comment, or even a sub. Since I started making this video, and up to now, I can now say that I have seen the Grinch. At least the Jim Carrey version. And everybody, I liked it. But I do now know that my video was nothing like the Grinch. Originally, I wasn't going to do this with the new pack. Then I thought it might be fun to do it with the new pack. And mess around with the new For Rent stuff, like trying to keep the residents happy, all whilst having the best Winterfest ever. And we were going to utilise the break-in option more often, but that didn't really work out. This was, of course, my Christmas video. So this will be the last video of 2023. I wish I could have brought you more content, but that's what 2024 is for. Subscribe if you'd like to be up to date with all that. But for now, it's Christmas. Merry Blastmas, one and all, and a blessed new year. Goodbye!